So today's topic, the 6 pillars of self-esteem. So first of all, I would like to give you some example of someone who has a low self-esteem. So usually what happens is someone who has low self-esteem, he or she tends to discard the good or the things they know how to do well and focus only on the things they don't know how to do. So for instance, if someone tells me, you did a great job, or it was amazing, I will say, oh, he's just being polite, he's just being nice to me, or he's being dishonest, or he's trying to manipulate me in some way. So I would always discard all the things that are not, that are positive about myself, and focus on things that are negative, that I don't know how to do. So that's one thing people with low self-esteem tend to do often. So one more thing is they assume that they should know how to do something. So if they don't know how to do something, they say, oh, I'm stupid, or I'm not going to ask because I'm going to look stupid, so I'm going to try to figure it out on myself instead of asking for help, or instead of saying to that person, can you teach me how to do that because I don't know how to do it? They don't do that. They prefer to hide or to try to figure it out on their own. So that's one more thing they do. So they don't know how to really assess themselves in an objective way. So that's very subjective, that's very biased, unbalanced. And on the other hand, if you have self-esteem, or if you have a healthy self-esteem, what you do is you focus on both the good and the bad. But so you know that you're bad at something, you suck at something, you don't know how to do it, but that's fine. But you know how to do other things, and you have a very or more objective way to assess your ability or your capacity or your talent, and you're always open to learn. So you may ask someone to help you or ask someone to teach you something. So that would be one difference between someone who has low self-esteem versus someone who has a healthy self-esteem. So now, what is self-esteem? So today I would like to give you one definition from this book. So the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. So he's one of the experts on the topic. So he said, self-esteem is the reputation you acquire with yourself. So let me say it again. Self-esteem is the reputation you acquire with yourself. So it's how you see yourself, how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself, so how you respect yourself. That's self-esteem. And he introduced 6 pillars or 6 practices. So 6 things you can work on if you want to have a healthier self-esteem. And today I'm going to share these 6 pillars with you. So number 1 is the practice or the pillar of living consciously. So basically it's the idea that you have to be self-aware. You have to know yourself. You have to know your weaknesses, your strength, your personality, and you have to be able to observe your actions, your behaviors, in an objective way. So as I mentioned before, you want to be able to be objective about yourself instead of beating yourself up or being too hard on yourself. So that's the first pillar, being more self-aware. Number 2 is self-acceptance, so practicing self-acceptance. So it's the idea that you have the right to exist, so you have the right to be here, you have a role to play in society or in the world, and you have to stand for yourself. You have to be able to assert your wants, your needs, your convictions, your belief, yourself. So that's self-acceptance. And the point number 3 is, or the pillar number 3 is self-responsibility. So it's the idea that you are responsible for your life and nobody will save you. Nobody will come and save you. So you have to do it on your own. So you have to be able to, if you want to develop self-esteem, you have to do it yourself. It's up to you to develop self-esteem. It's up to you to change your life, your finance, your career, your job. So everything is up to you. So that's principle number 3, self-responsibility, which is, if you look at successful people, they all know about that. They all know that they have to take 100% responsibility for their life. If they want to get result, they have to take action and be responsible for their life. So that's number 3. So pillar number 4 is self-assertiveness. So it's linked to self-acceptance. First, you have to accept yourself so that you can actually assert yourself. So it means being able to say what you want, say what you need. So if you're in a relationship, you want to be able to assert your needs, your wants. And if you don't do that, you're going to build resentment, or you're going to maybe get angry at some point. It might cause trouble in the relationship. So being able to assert yourself, your wants, your needs, your belief. That's self-assertiveness. So point number 4. And the point number 5, the pillar number 5 is living purposefully, which means it's your ability to set a goal that you selected yourself, your own goals, set your goals and achieve them. And oftentimes people don't realize that self-discipline is linked to your self-esteem. So when you have a goal, you have to be disciplined. So you have to be able to discipline yourself so that you can achieve your goals. So that's why also having a high self-discipline is linked to high self-esteem. So that's the point number 5, living purposefully. So setting goals and being able to achieve them. And the last point, or the last pillar, is pillar number 6, is having or practicing personal integrity. So basically it's being able to live a life that is aligned with your values, your beliefs, your convictions, your personality, and being able to look at yourself in the mirror, knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to do. So that's personal integrity. So these are the 6 pillars of self-esteem. So of course, it's a very complex topic. There's many other things you have to learn, you have to understand, but I think now you have a basic idea of what self-esteem is, how it works, and what you can do to build more self-esteem in your life. So again, I'm going to say the 6 pillars one more time. So number 1 is living consciously, so being self-aware, aware of your actions and behaviors. Point number 2, pillar number 2 is self-acceptance, so you have the right to exist. The point number 3 is self-responsibility, so you have to take responsibility for your life. Nobody's going to save you. The point number 4 is self-assertiveness, so being able to assert your wants and your needs. The point number 5 is living purposefully, so having goals that you want and being able to achieve them. And the last pillar is being able to live with integrity, so in line with your values, your purpose, and your beliefs. Being able to look at yourself in the mirror every day, knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to do with your life. So that's the 6 points, or the 6 pillars of self-esteem. So that's what I wanted to share with you today.